What's up, fellas? Welcome to my time machine here in Rockville at the New England Motorcycle Museum. Here we have a pristine, brand new 2001 Yamaha YZ250. This thing is 100% bone stock original, exactly the way it came out of the box, except for the oils and oils and fluids that we just refreshed on it and the air filter. We did put a brand new gold chain on it and replaced the original factory tank with a Clark tank because the original one had faded because of the fuel reaction in there. Everything else, it's got the idiot stickers, you know, on the fenders. Everything's 100% original. These are the original tires with the original date code on it. The gentleman we bought the bike from bought it brand new, rode it up and down the street in front of his house and in the field behind his house a few times, but never took it on a track. This thing's never been on a track. It's never been crashed. You can see the original factory exhaust pipe. Looks like it just came out of the box in 2001. If you're a Yamaha fanatic, you know that these things were kicking ass in 01. David Villeman and then Chad Reed in 02 were having great success on a national circuit with these. They're world-class motorcycles. It's the same motor, essentially the same motor that's in the 2023. The engine cases and everything hasn't changed. Why? Because it's a kick-ass design. This was the pinnacle of two-stroke development. Take a look at the radiators. There's not the radiator fins on this thing are exactly the way it came out of the box. Usually they get all mauled up from racing. The forks, there's not a single scuff on the front of the forks because the bike's never been roosted on. This is original front number plate, original grips, original crossbar pad, original handlebars. Everything's original on the bike except for the couple of items I mentioned. The rims, obviously original date code on the rims, original date code on the tires from 2001. The original factory silencer is like the day it came out of the box. It even has the idiot stickers on the rear fender, which we all know those will, when you power wash the bike, they blast right off. So original saddle, just a pristine, original steel frame. We went through and changed, well, any motorcycle that's been on display for 20 plus years, especially the two strokes, you got to get into the water pump. So we took the clutch cover off and rebuilt the water pump, put a new impeller shaft on there and all new gaskets. You can see the clutch cover's got a brand new gasket on it. We just had that off. So that's been done. The primary service that you need to do on a 20-year-old two-stroke has been done. The coolant, radiator coolant, was replaced with engine ice coolant. We've got new gear lube in it. We're running VP T2 in the gas, and it's ready to go. Also, the front brake master cylinder was flushed, and new Motul brake fluid was put in it. The rear master cylinder was flushed, and new Motul brake fluid were put in it. But take a close look at this thing. It's as close to a brand new one. You'd have to pull one out of a crate to get one nicer than this. And we normally will put new tires on a bike, on any used dirt bike that comes in. We left these on just to show the originality. And this thing's been ridden mostly on the street and never on a track. And it's the original tires. There's no dry rot on them. But if you want a new set of tires, if you want a new rear, the front tire still is like new. The rear tire's got a little wear on the edge. We'll throw in a brand new tire with the buy it now price. If it's sold at auction and you want a new set of tires put on here, we'll put a set of tires on here for the cost of the tires and labor to put them on. Some collectors wouldn't want to do that. If you're putting this in a collection and you're never going to ride it, I would leave the stock tires on it because it's proof the thing's got no time on it. So I'm going to take it for a rip up and down the driveway and up the street here, but I'm not going to take it on the dirt because it's too nice to take it out and trash it. You can see the frame rails. Look at the bottom of the engine on this thing, because that's where the proof is. The proof's in the pudding. You know, the engine cases, the frame rails. These are original unpainted engine covers. They are usually all the paint rubs right off. Show them the ignition cover on this side and the shifter. Virtually nowhere. All original, stock, and mint. It's like a time machine back to 2001. I'm gonna do a cold start here. The kicker feels brand new. It's probably only been started a handful of times. There's no play whatsoever. And you just know when you sit on a bike that's new, everything's perfect. The levers, the cables, the bars, everything's like it just came out of the box, super tight and fresh. to 11,000 RPM to get the perfect power out of it. This thing right off idle, just pulls the freight train. So you get the idea, guys. This thing is an absolute joy to ride, and it's a brand new motorcycle, essentially, in every sense of the word. So, quick story. When Junior was 15 years old, he moved up to the 250 B class, which is extremely competitive. A lot of the guys in New England are fast B riders, sandbagging so they can go to Loretta's. And he was 15 years old racing against 21-year-old, 22-year-old men. And on a 4-stroke CRF 250 Honda, we bought him a YZ250, same bike as this, and his very first race, he went from mid-pack to hole-shotting up at Hemmings, which is a horsepower track with a lot of uphills, and leading for 20 minutes of a 20-minute plus 2 moto, and crashing 2 laps before the finish line and getting up and finish second. The moral of the story is a bike like this can make the difference from being a mid-pack rider to winning, especially in the 250 class where you can run a 2-stroke against the 4-strokes, and these definitely put down a hell of a lot of power, 44 rear wheel horsepower, and unlike a 250 4-stroke that's basically not economically repairable once you blow the motor, this thing's super easy to rebuild, just a piston and rings. You can do a top end on this thing for a few $100, whereas with a 4-stroke, forget about it. You got the valves and cam chain, and they're very expensive to rebuild. So this is a forever bike, very easy to work on, very fast even by today's standards. Nice to look at, super fun bike, and it will be competitive against the new bikes with the right rider on it. So if you're looking for a mint YZ250, I can tell you, Junior paid up on this thing. When he told me what he paid for it, I was like, "What are you doing? We're gonna end up doing this for free, basically." But he loves these YZs, and we paid a premium on this one, and it's ready to go. So we got to play with it for a couple days, and I guess that'll be our reward. But just a kick-ass machine. No excuses. Pristine 2-stroke YZ.